biggest challenges for retailers right now is that so many have been caught off guard by the transition to online, and some have just fallen behind. So the investment spend that they need to catch up, for some of them is just, it's a higher bar than they can live up to right now.
So our challenges are pretty much always the same. XRC Labs focuses on bridging the gap between major brands and retailers, the corporate ones, and connecting them to startups. So we always run into the challenge of helping these startups who don't have much experience in retail, but have a great technology experience, and bridging that gap with brands and retailers who have a ton of experience, but are often met with other demands, and so they don't have time to spend on innovation.
Largest challenges that we've seen in supply chain for retailers and brands is localization. Localization and transparency, distributed, collaborative, resilient networks that give you real-time predictive data and product allocation mapping. So you don't have redundancies, you don't have shortages, and you don't have overages. Basically, real-time mapping for product and inventory. But one thing that I'm most interested in is localization as on-demand custom manufacturing. So you literally have all of your resources in one location under one roof for creating your textiles, for having co-creation of outfits, and having the consumer actually purchase it after she's tried it on virtually via augmented reality, and have it produced on demand via digital weaving or a sew bot.
Our first challenge is finding new ways to connect with our customer personally to improve her experience shopping with us as a brand. And the second one is finding new audiences to help build brand awareness.
The other challenges for retailers right now is to find the right collaborations and right partnerships. And that is such a key factor right now for brands, is tying up with the right partners in terms of wholesale or the right online partners, and the ones that do it right and collaborate to offset the 800-pound gorilla that we all know will be the winners.
Another challenge for the year is sifting through the noise. We're seeing so many startups, there's hundreds of them here at NRF, and being able to try to figure out which ones are really innovating in the space and which ones are going to stand out over the next 3 to 5 years is a big challenge for us.
One of the roadblocks, even for retailers that have been ultra successful, is just the state of the mall. So in some cases, clearly we've seen major retailers going out of business, and that leaves a hole in the mall. So even if you're a successful specialty retailer, you might have 2 major anchors that have gone dark in your space. So I think the race to right size your footprint is so important right now, especially as so much of the business is transitioning online.
So the biggest roadblocks with those 2 challenges is that localization it's a prerequisite that you need to have collaboration. And specifically in fashion and retail, that's not something they've historically done. So we are moving massive chess pieces to create alignment across this global industry. And the opportunity is that I saw that localization will be the catalyst for customization, on-demand production, which is far more sustainable, and you have an opportunity for circularity that you don't in the current paradigm.
I think one of the big roadblocks that we face is always bandwidth. From a marketing perspective, what else can we do to drive incremental business with the resources that we have available to us? But I think there's a huge opportunity to bring the customers in, whether that's one-on-one, in-person focus groups with our top customers, or scaling personalization for the rest of our shoppers on Tarte.com.
One of the roadblocks, I think, are on the brand and retailer side is just getting on their calendars. So we know I used to work at Ralph Lauren, and it was a lot of time spent managing presentations and internal workflows that we didn't have the time to go out and source startups and figure out how to do pilots. So even at XRC Labs, it's hard for us to make time or be able to get time with the brand.